Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artists you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
What are you listening to in the morning? Visit www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly and activate your radio. Imagine waking up to the biggest names in morning entertainment: Howard Stern, Today Show Radio, news from CNN, Fox News, Bloomberg, NPR, or sports talk on NFL, MLB, NASCAR radio, and more. Visit www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly or call 844-711-8800 now. Activate your radio and begin exploring more than 140 channels.
You know SiriusXM has over 100 extra channels on the SiriusXM app filled with ad-free music made for everything you do. Mashup channels, workout channels, channels for parties, or just chilling out and more. Expertly curated for any mood, occasion, or activity. Extra channels let you discover new music and enjoy even more variety from every decade and music style you love. Plus, you can watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows with SiriusXM Video. And you can do it all along with listening in your car as part of our music and entertainment plan. Right now, we're offering SiriusXM subscription plans for as low as $6 a month, plus fees and taxes. Call 844-711-8800 to find out more about these amazing offers.
On SiriusXM. To the end zone, touchdown! It's week 1 of the preseason.
It's exciting just to be back and hear the roar of the crowd.
Hear every snap and your team's pre- and post-game shows on the SiriusXM app. Plus, NFL Radio's training camp tour gets you ready for the season with previews of all 32 teams.
Playing this position, you get the credit, you get the blame, but I love leading these guys.
They've attacked it. They've challenged each other. So you get into these camps and you want to see that.
Just search for your favorite team on the all-new SiriusXM app.
There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, that's nice. You gotta get
If you've been thinking about buying a home, you need to be in the zone, the home buying zone. You need a game plan to win in this great real estate market. The Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage has all your bases covered. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, purchasing your dream home, refinancing, consolidating debt, or even considering a reverse mortgage, contact the Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage today. They have the lowest closing costs and they'll close your loan on time, guaranteed, or they'll pay your first mortgage payment. And they even have a 3.5% purchase down payment grant that can get you into a home with little money out of your pocket. It doesn't get more clutch than that, folks. Score big on the biggest purchase of your life. Call Equity Zone Mortgage today at 1-800-772-8624. That's 1-800-772-8624. Or apply online at equityzonemortgage.com and tell them Big C sent you, as heard on the Big C Sports Podcast. License number 01868.
Rondo Deportes, Bonjour, Vividi Vici. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to me and people who love the universe, and that would include you. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Want to be my neighbor? Shut up! Fool, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. As I said, it's called August Surprise. You know, I was voted neighborhood spokesperson, and I like to bring the people together, especially when the Olympics are going on, but some people don't like it. When my TV turned up all loud as it can go at 3 o'clock in the morning. But they voted for me, so you get what you get. And you don't throw a vote away. Count all the votes. They counted all the votes, and they made me neighborhood spokesperson. Wait until I run for the election of the president of the United States of America. Count all the votes and get Big C to be the next president of the United States. I want to say, what a happy Friday, August 9th, 2024. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard in the world. You go by and test drive yours. Tell them sit you where the good Lord split you. Hopefully the good Lord, it didn't split you too wide. You we need to condemn these fast food restaurants, these eateries that say it's a smorgasbord. You can eat all you want to eat. I mean, some people walk in there and they eat so much food. I've seen people eat 7 plates of food at a smorgasbord. I know, because I was sitting down with them. Okay, it was many, many moons ago. But sometimes you don't know when to stop. You don't know when to stop. A smorgasbord means you probably going to have a white split. If that makes sense. You got to get back to the gym. I want to say with Big C Sports Podcast, I'm one beautiful, intelligent black man, and I'm screaming all over the universe. I always produce the show. I direct the topics. I broadcast all the shows based on the platform provided by the agency. I do all the commercials and the sound effects. I even do the storytelling, and then I do the play-by-play. Steph Curry, 4-3, yes! Get the hole in your life! He dropped 36 yesterday, 1 point shy of the great Carmelo Anthony when he dropped 37. An Olympic record. That good boy was doing his thing, the great Steph Curry. I hope he can finish out his career with the Golden State Warriors. They take on Vive la France, Parlez-vous Francais, in the championship round for the gold. I think the United States is going to win the gold. Do you believe in miracles? Parlez-vous Francais. I got the United States winning by double digits. They got to get their groove back, and they got to get it done early. Don't wait till the back 9 before you start swinging for the 3-point basket, if that makes sense to you. I do want to say I love what I'm doing with Big C Sports Podcast. The show's uploaded to 29 podcast platforms out of New York City, and then streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon and Fire TV. And then, as I love saying, I never missed a show since starting Big C Sports back in the day with the crew over at Salem Media. And now we have people who miss practice. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about practice. The great Allen Iverson. I got people who miss practice. practice. I missed practice a couple of times too when I ate too much of the smorgasbord. The smorgasbord is not a good thing to eat when you have to go football practice, especially double days. I got some NFL football I'll talk about also. And it's just preseason, but it's where teams have to cut down and figure out who's going to be on the program. So I love doing what Allen Iverson said. And I'm talking about practice. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about practice. They got a lot of practice games going on called preseason, all fair and love and war. But what I don't want to practice doing, because I do it live, is I want to pay homage on every show to the Veterans Crisis Hotline, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and they really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. Anybody going through issues, you got to understand they will stand on their head to make you a deal. I want to say it's nice to say thank you for your service, but sometimes we got to do it a little bit extra and give them a number if they have any type of issues. It is not just for veterans, it can be for you. I've even called it myself, 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255, or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And when you do, you want to give it some praise, because we all need somebody to lean on. And it's nice when somebody's leaning back. I love leaning on somebody, but somebody's leaning back. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, where God said, reparations now, reparations forever. And then God said, let there be light, and we got to shine light on the world of reparations. We got Vive la France, Parlez-vous Francais, oui, bonjour. The Olympics have been amazing. The United States is leading the count in medals. Last I checked, and I'll check again sometime during the Big C Sports Podcast. So Team USA, you want to get this every 4 years. Now we have the summer and the Winter Olympics, but every 4 years, that means some of the great sprinters we're seeing right now. Noah Lyles, he's only 27. Will he be as fast when he's 31? Probably not. The great Steph Curry, will he be around for the Olympics in 2020? I sure hope so. He's the number 1 3-point basket shooter in the history of NBA basketball. Steph Curry, 4-3, yes! Get the hole in your life! Bang, bang, bang! That good old boy out of Davidson College. His father, Dale, played in the NBA, of course, so he saw a lot of that growing up. But to see how he's developed his body and he's a sharpshooter, precision, the way he shoots the basket, the way he dribbles. He has the whole package. I love seeing Steph Curry play. I just want to see them win this gold medal versus Viva La France, all fair and level war. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. But I also want to say, when it comes to the track and field, it's been amazing. The men and women doing their thing. You have Team USA going for a championship in the men's and the women's brackets. I really do love the fact that Team USA is amazing. Do you believe in miracles? Kevin Durant said something that's very poignant, in my opinion. He said, we have a lot of crap going on in America with our race issues and homelessness and people sleeping on the streets. In the land of the free and the home of the brave, an immigrant can come to the United States and they'll get benefits. But somebody who fought for this country, sometimes they're sleeping under an overpass. And that's not right. That's not right! We got to fix it. We got to fix it! We got to fix it. That's my story. But the Olympics also is galvanizing. It brings people together from sea to shining sea. We may have our differences, but when it comes to celebrating and representing this country, people tend to put their differences aside. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. It's a lot like Big C Sports. You may not agree with me. You may not even care what I'm saying. You may say I talk too loud. You may say I talk too fast. You may say I talk too slow. You may say I don't talk enough. But you can put your differences aside for 1 hour. For 1 hour. And give that some praise. I said give it praise, praise, praise. Everybody say hi to somebody. Just try it. Just say hi. I went to this thing over the last week. In fact, it was last weekend. In fact, I was talking to Gene today, and I told him, I sent him my dream board, and he said to put together a dream board. I gave him my dream board. It was live pictures, and in the dream board it had $100 million. I want you to chat, Nam yo reke yo, Nam yo reke yo, Nam yo reke yo. $100 million! And I mean it. And if that's the case, when it comes to tonight, then I will join Nam yo reke yo, Nam yo reke yo, Nam yo reke yo. See, I take my test live. I take my test all over the universe. You can hear if I fail or if I pass the test. I don't wait till I get home and take my test in private where no one can hear me scream. You can hear me scream all over the universe. But I'm also going to tell you, I believe in putting things to the test. You don't have to wait until tomorrow to see if your dreams are coming true. One of the most significant attributes of Nichiren Buddhism is this easily accessible practice of chanting Nam Yoho Renke Yo, Nam Yoho Renke Yo, Nam Yoho Renke Yo. Big C, I thought it was a sports show. But I did chant my way into Big C Sports many, many moons ago. I'm just telling you, this profound yet simple method of Buddhist practice is the perfect Buddhist teaching for the modern world. So I believe in prayer, I believe in chanting, I believe in a lot of things. We all believe in things, but what I do know is that the Big C Sports Podcast, the brand, through Big C Corporation, is expanding from sea to shining sea. And I'm telling you, when you think about the existence of the universe, it's always expanding. Each individual human life is a microcosm of the life of the universe. That means we all have something in common. We recite the sutra chant, Nam Yoho Renke Yo, Nam Yoho Renke Yo, Nam Yoho Renke Yo. I remember doing that many, many moons ago, and especially before my son was born. And now he's 21 years old, a grown man. And I hope that you always understand that always trust God. There's no division in God. And always trust God that everything you want to do, that you can do it by going to God, not going to people. And you can harmonize with the universe. There's a rhythm. There are times athletes call it being in the zone. You can see it with the men's 4x100 meter relay. They're in the zone. You can see it with a 100 meter dash. You can see it in the 200 meter dash. You can see it in the mile. You can see it in the boxing. You can see it in boxing. You can see it in basketball. There's sometimes people get into a rhythm and they can't miss. It's like the USA when they came down the back nine. They were down 17 points in the second half, and they came back and they beat Serbia. And you can see how they dug deep. They found another something they found that gland in the brain called the pineal gland. The ancients called it the third eye. And Steph Curry called it a three-point play. He hit 9 three-point baskets yesterday. He was in the zone. And there's something about being in the zone, all of us in life. There's sometimes where you can't miss. And we all want to be in the zone. And I want to be in the zone all the time. I want to be in the zone when I do Big C Sports Podcast because I don't script my show. And I also want to say I had the chance yesterday to have the great August Wesley on the program. Has a championship background when it comes to wrestling. Has been in Olympic Village and working with as coaching with Cape Verde. And just a great, talented young man. Has a lot of passion, a lot of pride in what he does. But he comes from a legacy of great wrestlers, and now his son is also in that same legacy that they can leave behind. But it's about doing it now and not waiting for another day. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. We all want to live a long, fruitful life, but at the same time, if God can give it to you now, do it now. May lightning strike. Do it now. May lightning strike. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I want to say, when it comes to what I'm doing with Big C Sports Podcast, I want to do some excerpts today because it's important to me. I'm going to always pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force because the mind is a terrible thing to waste, and I don't want to waste my mind. I don't want to waste my mind up in here. I don't want to go all out up in here. Whatever that means, great DMX. But no one wants to lose their mind. But if you have a mind, if you're afraid to do something, then aren't you wasting your mind? If you have a mind to do something and you're afraid, aren't you wasting your mind? You can't please everybody anyway. So don't worry about it being perfect. I don't know how my show comes out because I don't have it scripted. I Google information and then I speak ad nauseum. It doesn't mean that it's for everybody, but try it sometime. Go live and just go for an hour not talking. Big C, you don't have to do it 3 o'clock in the morning. I know I don't have to do it 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm just saying, either lead, follow, or get out of the way. If you're waiting for everybody to like you, it's not going to happen. There are people that say, oh man, I remember when you sucked. Well, I probably still suck to some people. Mama. My mama used to say I was always trying to get some milk. I love milk. Mama's milk was the best milk in the universe. And a baby knows what I'm talking about. The baby can't even talk. They come out of the womb, and what do they say? Mama, I want some milk. They don't say it that way, but mamas know what the babies want. They want some milk. Well, see, the universe, it has milk too. And I want the milk of the universe. I want to be able to rise and shine and do the best I can. And like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, my good will come to me. I just believe in that. I'm going to chant and pray and do the best I can. I'm telling you, Big C Sports becoming a household name, not only from the Olympic Village, but from sea to shining sea, and now in the world of asset protection. I'm going to do, what kind of protection, Big C? I said asset protection. You understand what I'm saying when I tell you this. I have a commercial that I'm going to do. It's actually called, it's really an infomercial, Big C. Okay, it's an infomercial. You know, somebody always want to put their 2 cents in. It'd be nice if they put in $5 instead with the cost of gas. I have a guide to protect, preserve, and transfer wealth. Resource Development Consulting, Inc. Listen up, athletes and entertainers, in conjunction with the law office of Scott Thibodeau and the law office of attorney George Jones. It's called The Missing Link, Long-Term Care, Solutions by the Book, over 3 decades of experience, helping seniors get their benefits, Medicare and you, and taking care of tomorrow. In California, it's called Medi-Cal. In other states, it's called Medicaid. Now, we have NFL football preseason starting tonight, and people are looking at their favorite teams. Well, who's on your team? You want to be on the Big C team. Is that an NFL team, Big C? Yeah, it's going to be, because the Big C team is reaching out to every NFL organization through the NFL Players Association, and I got some inroads already. I'm going to reach out to the NBA Players Association and Major League Baseball too, because when you think about what I'm going to tell you, we have a guide to protect, preserve, and transfer wealth. You know, one of the biggest things for a lot of athletes when you become a nouveau riche person is not what you make, it's what you keep. You become more attractive. People say you're better looking. You don't have to wash your nasty hands, because a lot of people, they just want what you got. They'll come after you. They'll come after all your assets. So you got to learn to protect your assets, if that makes sense to you. Your family and spouse can avoid the spend down for nursing home costs. You can find out your options. Before I get into that, 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. Now, there's no other sports show in the universe that talks about asset protection. They talk about hut 1, hut 2, hut 3, hike. But when Big C gets into the game, I said asset protection. You got to have that asset protection. Athletes understand what it is, especially when somebody's trying to take you to court for something they didn't even earn. All they did was they met you. And next thing you know, they're coming after all your assets. But we protect you. You got to have our promise to you, specialized to navigate and maximize long-term care benefits, protection of your assets without a spend down. All paperwork and communication with all government agencies are handled by our staff of entitlement specialists. Ongoing consulting to provide updates as necessary. Benefits covering skilled nursing facilities, medical prescriptions, and medical equipment costs, and more. But not only that, have you ever known anyone to deal with skilled nursing facilities? Have you ever known anyone to deal with medical prescriptions? You know, like the ones you took this morning? Have you ever known anyone to deal with medical equipment costs? And more. But not only that, protection of your assets, including your home, thereby allowing you to leave a legacy for your family. Have you ever known anyone to try to come after your assets, if that makes sense to you? Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the USS Starship Enterprise was on a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, and to boldly go where no man or woman had gone before. May lightning strike, warp speed straight ahead. And then they came into this galaxy, and they came out of warp drive. And there was 9 planets in this galaxy. There was 9 of them, but one was big, beautiful, and black. And it had a peculiar beep to it. And Captain Kirk said, wow, well, that's a peculiar-looking planet. It's beautiful, shiny, and black. And Scotty said, yeah, it is pretty peculiar, but why is it blinking, Captain? And Spock said, yes, it is a pretty peculiar black planet. I would like to give it the Vulcan mind meld. And then Captain Kirk said, well, maybe we should put up our shields. And then Scotty said, well, why would we put up our shields, Captain? Is this a pretty black, shining planet? And Spock said, yes, I can't even do the Vulcan mind meld if we put the shields up, Captain. And Captain said, Scotty, Spock, out of your Vulcan mind! Put the shields up! It's an order from Starfleet Command. And just as Scotty was about to put the shields up, they heard, attention, USS Starship Enterprise. This is an order from Starfleet Command with the Empire. The Starfleet Command has joined the Empire so we can fight back. This is Captain Darth Vader, the commander of the USS Death Star. And if you raise your shields, it will be considered an act of war. Do not raise your shields. That's an order from Starfleet. Captain Kirk, Scotty, Spock, do not raise your shields. And Captain said, well, how do you know our names? And Scotty said, yeah, how do you know our names? And Spock said, yes, it's illogical. How do you know our names? And Darth Vader said, I am your father. If you search your feelings, you know it's true. And Scotty said, well, my daddy left a long time ago. And Captain Kirk said, yeah, you're not my dad. I talked to him yesterday. And Spock said, yes, you're not my father. My father's green and you're black. He said, listen, I don't have time for games. Do not raise those shields. And Captain Kirk said, you guys, raise the shields. Are you out of your fucking mind? And just as he's about to raise the shields, Darth Vader said, hold on 1 minute. I got a proposition you cannot deny. And Captain Kirk said, well, what kind of proposition is that? He said, I'm going to throw you Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Lando Calrissian, Han Solo, and I got 2 robots called C-3PO and R2-D2. But do not raise your shields. And Captain Kirk said, Scotty, raise the shields. Are you out of fucking mind? Warp speed straight ahead. May lightning strike. And they got out of Dodge before the Death Star was able to get that pulsing beam to destroy the Enterprise. And a lot of business owners, they go around and they refuse to put up their shields. They refuse to have a trust. And you tell a business owner, if you don't have a trust, business owner, are you out of your fucking mind? You gotta have a trust because there's a lot of lawyers going around like Darth Vader, and they come but to kill, steal, and destroy. And if you don't have a trust, they'll come after all your assets, if that makes sense to you. And that's what we do with the Big C team. Now, you don't get that in the NFL, but the NFL, mark my words, they will start dealing with the Big C team because all those athletes, they end up going broke about 5 years after they retire. If you know how to protect your assets, You won't go broke like the late O.J. Simpson. He had money until he passed away. Why are there men right now that 5 years after they finish playing are broke or filing for bankruptcy? Doesn't make any sense. When you go through 5, 10, 15, 20 million, $100 million, $100 million, how do you lose that money? Because you don't protect your assets, if that makes sense to you. You get that with the RDC team. And don't tell me, well, the NFL already does that, Big C. If they already do that, then why are so many guys broke within 5 years of playing? At least call 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624, and tell them Big C sent you. That's my story, and I'm taking with it. You can also avoid the nightmare of debt brought by the government's estate recovery program called probate. If you don't have a will and a trust and you pass away, you know the probate court, they have a will for you, and you will not like it. You won't like it. But if you have a trust, you can avoid a lot of that crap. You can obviously see that I'm auditioning for Star Trek 29 and Star Wars 25, and I think I should at least get the part. I should at least get the part by saying, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" I can do that as well as Captain Kirk could, if that makes sense. Yeah. You get a one-time processing fee versus monthly insurance premiums for the rest of your life. But not only that, I'm not done yet. You got to realize, what does a trust do? Yeah, Big C, what does a trust do? Protection. Insurance coverage required by a law, general liability, workers' compensation, lawyers specializing in living trust, Medicaid or Medi-Cal planning for long-term care. You can avoid probate. You got life insurance policies, veterans benefits, aid and attendance, pre-planning. You can avoid the look-back period in California. A trust protects, listen up, business owners, it protects your fixed assets, your bank account, your checking account, your savings account, money market accounts, your certificates of deposit, life insurance with cash values, your fixed index annuities. It also protects your variable assets, your real estate, your qualified money, IRAs, 401ks, and other investments. For example, Darth Vader, those attorneys that call themselves Darth Vader, they come after all your assets. You can avoid capital gains. Let's say you buy a house for $100,000, and then 1 year later that house appreciates to $1 million. Well, that's a $900,000 capital gains. You avoid that when your property is in a trust. Attention, business owners. Attention, business owners. Attention, business owners. Find out your other options to protect what your insurance does not cover. 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. You don't learn that on other sports shows. You don't learn it on ESPN. You don't learn it on Fox Sports. You don't learn it on NFL Network. You don't learn it on CNN. None of those programs. NBC Sports. They're not going to tell you that during the Olympics. How to protect your assets. You know, when Jesse Owens won the Berlin Olympics, he had to come home and they wouldn't give him a job because of racism. He had to become a janitor. He had to get a job as a janitor because they didn't look out for him. They refused to look out for him. The Big C team looks out for you. And then when people say, well, why would we trust you, Big C? Because we have endorsements. Endorsements are you can't knock a company that gives you endorsements. Most people, you got to ask for the endorsement. We give it to you with the RDC team and the Big C team. We have the endorsement of the late James Gomez, who advised 4 California governors and led change in California nursing homes and served on Golden One's board of directors for 21 years. He was the CEO of California Association of Health Facilities, and he also was doing his thing for 21 years. Not only that, we have the endorsement of the late Robert Carlson. He was the top legal mind to CalPERS. He endorsed the RDC team. But not only that, you got to pay attention because I'm giving it to you. You don't have to ask. We have the endorsement of Attorney George Jones. He's the chair of the California Black Chamber of Commerce. He's also the California Black Chamber of Commerce Foundation chair. Mr. Leon Woods, a resource development consulting, works with many of the top lobbyists in California. We also have Miss Cheryl Brown. She's the chair of the California Commission on Aging. She endorses the RDC team. Not only that, we have Mr. Ray De La Cruz, the CEO of RDC, Resource Development Consulting, been doing his thing over 34 years. Not only that, we have Mr. Alex De La Cruz. He's the founder of American Veterans Benefits. He endorses the RDC team, but not only that, we have Charlton Curry. He's the co-chair of the National Black Wall Street Project. Not only that, business development consultant with the RDC team. But not only that, owner of Big C Sports Podcast, the #1 sports show in the universe. No one talks acceptation like the RDC team in Big C Sports. But not only that, we have Double O. She's on the payout committee for the National Black Wall Street Project. Not only that, she's a consultant for the RDC team. But not only that, she has her own economics awareness talk show called Let's Eat. You can Google it on Access Sacramento. And she endorses the RDC team. You got to give that some praise. I say give it praise, praise, praise. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. You know, as I always tell you, as much as I love sports, I want to make sure that I pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force, because reparations will happen in California first, and it's going to sweep the country for smart people, good people, you people. But I want to make sure that I pay homage to them. I wish I had more time to do the show, but it's only an hour long, and it flies by real fast. It may lightning strike how fast the show flies by. But I do want to say, I want to thank the inimitable Dr. Shirley Weber, the Secretary of the State of California. She worked with California Governor Gavin Newsom to mandate a task force to study reparations a few years ago, and they came up with 1,065 pages. And I love giving them praise. I want to give praise to the chair, Camila Moore. She's brilliant. She's also an attorney that specializes in reparative justice. She also photobombed Big C at the California Reparations Task Force final meeting last year. I want her to photobomb the Big C Sports podcast because a mind is a terrible thing in the waste, and she's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Amy C. Brown, the vice chair of the California Reparations Task Force. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. He actually came on the Big C Sports podcast, and he just a great conversation I had with him about 3 months ago. I want to give praise to California Senator Stephen Bradford. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. He's the #1 senator in the history of the universe. It's a lot like Moses. When God told Moses in Exodus 10, he said, go down into Egypt and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. And then Moses said, well, who do I tell him sent me? And God said, tell him I am sent you. And he went down there and talked to them. And Bradford was the same thing, on his knees praying to God about reparations. And God said to Senator Bradford, go down to the California State Capitol and tell the Senate and the legislators to pass reparations. And Senator Bradford said, well, who do I tell him sent me? And God said, tell him I am sent you. And then they passed Senate Bill 1403, 1331, and 1050. And yet some people still don't understand that reparations is happening as we are breathing. I love giving him praise. Met him several times at rallies and also at his office. Really do love giving him praise. He also sponsored Name, Image, and Likeness that helps student athletes get paid on their name, image, and likeness. You'll hear a lot about that when college football kicks off. He did that. And then he also sponsored the Ebony Alert that helps law enforcement put the same amount of resources into finding missing black children as the Amber Alert puts into finding missing white children. I really love giving him praise. I'm going to give praise to council member Monica Montgomery Stepp. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Assembly member Reginald Jones Sawyer. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Shell Grills. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to attorney Lisa Holder. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. She specializes in diversity, equity, and inclusion. That Project 2025 wants to get rid of. We got to say no, not on our watch. Diversity is a good thing. Look at the United States and what they're doing at the Olympics in Paris, France, Parlez-vous Francais. Imagine if the Olympics said we only want one race at the Olympics. We only want one country to come to the Olympics. We got to have diversity in life, and we need people like Attorney Lisa Holder to make sure it happens. I want to give praise to Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, professor at California, Berkeley. I love giving him praise. I want to give praise to Attorney Donald K. Tamaki, member of the California Reparations Task Force. As a Japanese American, his ancestry got reparations. I want to give them praise, praise, praise. They got praise and reparations from the internment camp. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Sometimes you say, Big C, can we hear from the best speaker ever about reparations? I said, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to let you hear from the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. When he talked about reparations, you say you love Dr. King, you say you love justice, listen to what he says about reparations.
Martin Luther King, we had a conversation a couple days ago about handouts and how these right-wing memes, these Republican memes, have infiltrated the Democratic debate to suggest that ending welfare as we know it, to all those kind of things are somehow, great and noble things. When we're not dealing with the underlying problem, which is that there's no economic opportunity there because of insane trade policies and because of Reaganomics. And Martin Luther King spoke to this. Jim and Shane, this is clip number 4. Martin Luther King spoke to this sometime back in the early 60s. And I thought this was a really interesting quote. Here he is.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
From his speech, The Two Nations of Black America. And it's absolutely brilliant. And the next time some white person talks about, well, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and my family did too, especially the Bundy boys. I mean, here's Martin Luther King, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., talking about how basically whites stole the West from the Indians with the complete, didn't just steal it, murdered them, murdered the Indians in the process, and did not give any of these benefits to African Americans for 100 years in this country. It's a strong case for reparations or some variation on it, for rebuilding our cities, for doing right after having done wrong for so many centuries. It is a very, very strong case for that.
Reparations now! Reparations forever! That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Not the Homestead Act. The United States government gave away 300 million acres of land. They told black people no. That's not right. We gotta fix it. We gotta fix it! We gotta fix it now. We gotta fix it now. And now I'm gonna bring you some events from the Olympics in Paris, France.
The race for gold is on. Team USA right in the middle in lane 5. Alyssa Jefferson in the red, blue, and white for the United States. She's made up the stagger to her outside. But Great Britain is there as well. T.T. Terry's got the stick now, and T.T. Terry is making up ground. Gabby Thomas has used the exchange and had to wait a little while. Yeah, that exchange took a little longer than they would have wanted, so it's Great Britain out front. They will hand off first. Amy Hunt is making the exchange to Darolina. Here comes Sha'Carri Richardson. Look to the far side. Sha'Carri's got him covered. All the way to the line. USA wins gold.
Wow! Sha'Carri Richardson in the 4x100 meter relay. I mean, what an event. What an event that was at the Olympics in Paris, France. I love bringing it to you because America is great. When competition happens, we all get better with the competition. That's what I love about the Olympics in Paris, France, is Team USA. Imagine when we do the thing that we have to do for reparations. When we hand off the baton from the good people to more good people and make it a reality. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it with Big C Sports Podcast.
If an entire city could take a bow, well, then Paris is making its curtain call. Let's just admit it. Paris has been the star of this show. But they don't give out Olympic medals for charm and panache. On this stage, you've got to earn it, gut it out. And boy, did we see that these past 2 weeks.
The greatest to ever do it. Full stop. End of story.
from a comeback story for the ages.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes, I'm very proud of myself.
To showing what the razor-thin edge of victory really looks like. To defending what's yours. We saw Americans claw their way to improbable finishes on the rugby pitch.
I was like, no way, she's going to do it. She's going to do it. And we're all going to name our kids Fifth.
Yes.
And on two wheels. There was so much to celebrate in this first non-pandemic Olympics since the Pyeongchang Games of 2018. The stands once more filled with the families of athletes and spectators. There were expectations dashed.
It's a home run!
The games also gave us more than enough reasons to smile. We connected with familiar friends.
Watch out now!
And we saw the Olympics through new lenses.
Come on, man. America's biggest cheerleader, right?
Come on, man. I'm the biggest kid in the crowd.
Yes, we'll always have Paris. And thanks to the athletes who competed here, so much more.
May lightning strike! I love the Olympics in Paris, France. Imagine when the world could get along in politics the way we do in sports. And that's what I want to bring to you with Big C Sports.
Tonight, victory and defeat for Team USA in the 4x100 meter relays.
Sha'Carri's got him covered!
For the women, gold in a masterful race, anchored by Sha'Carri Richardson, who even had enough time to glance over and size up the competition. It was a much different story for the men.
Look at the
who fumbled the baton handoff early and never came back. But in the 400-meter hurdles,
3 years he's been waiting for redemption!
It was gold for American Rye Benjamin, who upset the defending Olympic champion. In soccer, a thrilling finish in the men's gold medal match between France and Spain. With time winding down, France evened the score with a penalty kick, but Spain came storming back in extra time with 2 goals to win gold.
Seals the win for Spain!
The judges love to see this kind of stuff.
And today, the world got its first taste of Olympic breaking. B-girls from around the world competing head-to-head in a series of battles judged on originality, musicality, and execution. Japan's Ami beating out Lithuania for the first ever gold. Team USA's Sunny Choi leaving without a medal, but thrilled to be part of the sport's debut.
It feels like everyone fell in love with it, so I think that's a success.
95-91, your final score.
In basketball, after the men's team survived a serious scare from Serbia last night, no such troubles for the women.
Wire-to-wire victory.
Who cruised to victory over Australia.
And sitting courtside at this historic game, NBA royalty, including the late Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa Bryant, and their children, Carmelo Anthony, and current men's team members, Kevin Durant and Bam Adebayo.
They're now just 1 win away from their 8th straight goal. This one means even more to Brittany Griner.
And for you personally, with everything you've been through, to be here on an international stage, what does it feel like deep inside?
Emotional. I didn't think I would be here at all. And to be able to play for my country in a gold game, when my country fought so hard to get me back, it means everything to me and my family.
Just like the men, they'll have to beat France for gold. Tom Yamas, NBC News, Paris.
Do you believe in miracles?
Away we go at women's 71 kilograms. At 3 attempts in the snatch. Final attempt in the snatch for Olivia Reeves, 21 years old from Chattanooga, Tennessee. The best chance at a weightlifting gold for the United States in nearly a quarter century. This attempt for a new Olympic record. And Cheryl, if she's great in the snatch, she's blank in the clean and jerk.
Oh my God, she is even better. I mean, if that's even possible in the clean and jerk. Let's see what she's got.
Think about that. If she completes this, would have the best snatch going to the next phase. 3rd attempt, women's 71 kilograms. Olivia Reeves, hold it. Did she step on the line?
3 white lights. For now, it's an Olympic record.
That was an awesome save, and Coach Piros Demas is like, what are you trying to do to me? There are a lot of USA weightlifting folks in the crowd. Just got him a little stressed out, but as long as she maintains control and doesn't completely step off the platform, and she puts the bar back down on the platform, it's all gravy. I am in awe. One of the greatest weightlifting performances I think I've ever seen. America is bringing home the gold medal in women's weightlifting.
It's the next chapter of the rivalry. Benjamin versus Warholm.
Lee, the moment has arrived. The 3 fastest men to ever do it are again in an Olympic final. Karsten Warholm likes to go off fast, but Ryan Benjamin is holding him off. This is setting up for the 2 men to really come up to terms together, Otto.
I don't think Ryan Benjamin is worried at all about Karsten Warholm making up the step with him, because Ryan Benjamin all year has been saving his best for the second half of the race. Ryan Benjamin is ahead, coming off the turn, and it's about even. He may have a slight advantage on Karsten Warholm, and Warholm falters. Warholm falters. Ryan Benjamin takes the last hurdle. 3 years he's been waiting for redemption. Ryan Benjamin is finally an Olympic champion.
Do you believe in miracles? What a great showing at the Olympics in Paris, France. Bringing it to you, Big C Sports Podcast. We have more coming to you from the games in Paris, France. Parlez-vous français?
Settle in, because this is going to be interesting. The women's 10,000 meters, and if the men's is anything to go by, it gave us an incredible finish.
Oh no, Lee, I just saw Parker Valby cut in there.
And here comes Beatrice Chebet, one of the overwhelming favorites, and look at Hassan on the outside. Hassan's going to fight 2 of the Ethiopians, all 3 of the Kenyans, and Balaklani of Italy.
Hassan comes to life on the outside. Look at her now. Look at how different her running looks. But Beatrice Chebet, does she still have anything left in the tank?
Chebet trying to do the double. Hassan trying to defend her goal. And Balaklani of Italy. She said I was denied. I'm going to win the 5,000. I'm going to get it here. Beatrice Chebet, gold in the 5,000. Beatrice Chebet, gold in the 10,000.
Wow! Do you believe in miracles? I do, because that's amazing competition at the Olympics in Paris, France, with Big C Sports Podcast, bringing it to you live. I can't wait to see what I can run that fast again around the track. I just got to stretch a lot more, but it's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Love the Olympic, the competition. It makes you want to get out there and exercise and buy some shoes that can run just as fast as these great Olympic athletes. Big C Sports is bringing you clips from the Olympics in Paris, France. Parlez-vous français, Big C Sports.
Here is the 32-year-old from Rockville, Maryland, with a chance to become a 3-time Olympic medalist. Again, 2 solid wins in the opening 2 rounds before getting taken down by Sugumi Sakurai in that semifinal round. So it's Maroulis back here in a bronze medal match. The first 3-time Olympian for the United States in women's freestyle wrestling. First period here, Maroulis trying to get something going against Taylor of Canada. 3 world titles for Maroulis, including the Rio Olympic gold and the Tokyo bronze. Trying to finish this in short order, and there it is!
24 seconds. Beautiful wrestling. Slide by, dunk to the dump, right to the back. The tears will start to flow. 3rd medal in a row. Wow.
I love the Olympics. I love the thrill of victory. I love the agony of defeat. I love when Team USA is going to bring home the gold for the most part. Whether you get a gold or a silver or a bronze, you're competing against the best in the world, and no one can say that that's not worth something. I really do appreciate that. I want to give out the medal count that I have so far. I'm going to do the top 10 for the Olympics and Paris, France. With number 10, we have Italy They have 36 total medals overall. Number 9 is Germany with 29 total medals overall. Number 8 is Netherlands with 29 overall. Number 7 is South Korea with 28. We have number 6, Viva la France, with 56. We have Great Britain at number 5, and they have done a great showing with 57 medals. And number 4, Japan, with 37 overall medals. Australia is 48 overall medals. China with 83 overall medals, number 2 spot. And then number 1, USA. I'm telling you, they got 33 gold, 39 bronze, and 39 silver, 111 so far. May Latin strike! That's Team USA. Well, that's my story. And I'm thinking with it, I wanted to bring you some of the leading stories from the Olympics in Paris, France. And hopefully you got a chance to enjoy some of that because it's coming on a lot earlier than a lot of people get up here in the United States. But that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And now, are you ready for some football? 2024. NFL football is back. It's just preseason, but you still got to try to make the team, and that's what a lot of good boys are doing. We already had the NFL preseason game began with the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Thursday, August 1st. And then Houston and the Chicago Bears. The Bears won 21-17, but that game did not go all the way. And then you have more games coming up this beautiful Friday for a Big City Sports podcast. There's some games out there that are being played. Again, it's just preseason. You're not going to get the best competition. Last night on Thursday, the Patriots beat the Panthers 17-3. The New York Giants beat the Lions 14-3. Let me say New England Patriots 17, Carolina Panthers 3, New York Giants 14, Detroit Lions 3. Again, it's just preseason. And then tonight, Friday, August 9th, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Miami Dolphins. The Houston Texans will be at the Pittsburgh Steelers. That will be seen on the NFL Network. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens, and those are the games that conclude tonight. And then Saturday, August the 10th, we have the Washington Commanders at the New York Jets, the Chicago Bears at the Buffalo Bills. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be at Cincinnati taking on the Bengals. The San Francisco 49ers will be in Tennessee taking on the Tennessee Titans. The defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will be in Jacksonville taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Seattle Seahawks with a new head coach now that Pete Carroll is moved aside from coaching, and they are at the Los Angeles Chargers down at beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. And the New Orleans Saints, they are in Arizona in the desert taking on the Arizona Cardinals. On Sunday, August the 11th, the Denver Broncos will be in Indianapolis taking on the Indianapolis Colts on the NFL Network. And how about those Cowboys? The Dallas Cowboys will be in Los Angeles playing at the Los Angeles Rams, and that's also on the NFL Network. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. May lightning strike. Do you believe in miracles? Well, hopefully you do believe in miracles. As I was telling Gene with the Natural Buddhism, I said I'm going to chant and I'm going to believe in it tonight. I'm chanting for $100 million. He said put together the dream board. One of the most significant attributes of Natural Buddhism is its easily accessible practice of chanting Nam Myoho Renge Yo, Nam Myoho Renge Yo, Nam Myoho Renge Yo. It also tightens your stomach. It's the profound yet simple method of Buddhist practice. It's a perfect Buddhist teaching for the modern world, and I do love bringing you that with Big City Sports Podcast. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. We had a lot of great comments this week for some guests on Big City Sports Podcast. Yesterday, I had the great August Wesley, an Olympic name in his own right, and coaching with Cat Purdy. And then I also had, earlier in the week, the crowd DC, and he's also very well skilled when it comes to politics. Dennis Cameron, really loved having him on Big City Sports Podcast. But for the most part, I fly my own airplane. Airplane? Yeah, I fly my own airplane. It's called the USS Starship Enterprise. May lightning strike if you don't fly your own airplane from time to time. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I wish everybody love, peace, and soul train the great Don Cornelius. I want to say, as I say on every Big City Sports Podcast, if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink, because mothers against drunk drivers are mad, and fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber, you can call Lyft, you can walk it off, you can sleep it off, but don't let someone you love get behind the wheel of a car and start driving after they've been drinking, because the life you save may be your own, or someone you love, or someone who loves you, or someone who's loved by somebody else. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. You don't want to let someone drink and drive. Don't let them do it. I also want to say, as my beautiful mother always says, there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that crap on their own. You need more leader in your life. Leader is an acronym for love is the answer. If somebody's smacking you, I only hit you because you made me mad. Call 911. If someone's choking you out, I only choked you because you made me mad. Call 911. If somebody's kicking you, I only kicked you because you made me mad. Call 911. No man, woman, or child should ever have to put up with that crap on their own. Anyone who loves you, they don't hit you, they don't beat you, they don't kick you, they don't slap you. No one should ever have to put up with that crap. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I always tell you on Big C Sports Podcast, I love paying homage to my beautiful family legacy, starting on my mother's side with my great-grandparents, Mama and Pop. They were beautiful, loving, kind great-grandparents. Pop was a former Negro League baseball player, and Mama was known as making some of the best collard greens in the history of the universe. Say, boy, go wash your hands before you get a plate. I said, great-grandma, I don't need a plate. I'm hungry now. You know, if you try to put your hands in a hot bucket of collard greens, you might hurt yourself. We don't want to. At least take it off the stove. Sometimes you got to learn things the hard way. Love them with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then my beautiful grandparents, Mudden and Hezekiah, beautiful, loving, kind people. They were seers. They could oftentimes look at a person and tell you a lot about their past, their present, and their future. They still help me to this day. And then I can always depend on my mama, the most beautiful mama in the history of the universe. Started a Head Start program, a food program, and also coached an all-boys Little League baseball team to the championship of the universe. Always saying rise and shine. The best person I ever met in my life. I love my mama with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. Mama, you hear my praise. You hear my praise, 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 and you know my dreams. All I ask is that they come true. I love my mama with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. The best person I ever met in my life. On my father's side, my grandparents, Albert and Alberta Curry, they were pastors. They had 3 churches. They also owned 2 gas stations in Oakland, and they owned 40 acres of land. I remember being 8 years old, walking through the hallway about 10 o'clock at night, and I felt someone touch me in my forehead. She said, "What are you doing, young man? Going to get some more cookies?" I said, "Well, what are you doing up, Grandma? It's 10 o'clock at night. You normally go to bed at 8:30. She said, "What are you doing, young man? Going to get some cookies?" And I was like, "Darth Vader." I said, "Cookies are baby crap to what I'm doing. I'm going to get my reparations." But a couple of cookies wouldn't hurt. It's been a long week. She said, "There's something about your voice. I love hearing you speak." And now I'm on 29 podcast platforms streaming on 4 TV applications. Really do appreciate them, love them with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then my beautiful father, former United States Air Force fighter pilot, chief mechanic, always making sure that planes can fly high so we can all stay safe at night, always saying develop your mind to its highest extent. I love my dad with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then my beautiful brother Todd with that bombastic voice, sound like thunder and lightning when Todd would speak, always saying go forward. A voracious reader, he would say always go forward. In fact, don't look back because you don't have much backside back then in the first place. I said I love my backside, Todd, but he said I had a small backside and I should do more squats, so I'm starting to do more squats, if that makes sense to you. You know, Todd and I love the movie Malcolm X, but we also love Pulp Fiction. We love that scene that a lot of athletes in the Olympics are dealing with now. Before the big fight, you had Ben Rames, Bruce Willis, John Travolta, and Sam Jackson. And Ben Rames told Bruce, he said, "Hey, come here and sit your butt down. I got to talk to you." He said, "Take this money and remember what I tell you. Your butt goes down in the 5th round. Say that flip." And so Bruce Willis said, "Okay, my butt goes down in the 5th round." He told him, "That stinging sensation you feeling, well, that's just pride flubbing with you." And he told him what a lot of athletes tell each other. He said, "Flub pride. Pride only hurts. It never helps. One day you're going to thank Uncle Marsalis when you chilling in the Caribbean. You're going to say Uncle Marsalis is right." Well, we know that Bruce didn't take the dive, and he ended up losing his LA privileges. That's my story. I'm thinking with it. Oh, my goodness. Life is so funny. I love Todd with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then my beautiful daughter, Daisy, the most beautiful daughter in the history of the universe. College graduate, 2 degrees with honors in 3.5 years from a major university. Daisy, I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. You can be anything you want to be. In fact, Daisy set up the very first interview for Big C Sports Podcast back at Salem Media. It became the first time in the history of the United States of America that NFL Monday Night Football started broadcasting live on the Wall Street Business Network. They would normally go to ESPN, but because of 2 black men in the crew, they made that happen in this shenanigans setup, and it went away. I guess they didn't want to make all that money they were making for making budget for the first time in 44 years and 1 month. But that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Daisy, I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. You can be anything you want to be. Always trust God. Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against you will prosper. And then my beautiful, handsome son, Malcolm, the most handsome son in the history of the universe. College graduate, very smart, erudite, a good man. You can be anything you want to be. Always trust God. Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against you will prosper. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. Malcolm helped me save trees. I used to always get newspapers to look up stats for the Big C Sports Podcast on players and teams. And one day Malcolm said, Dad, why don't you just Google it and a light bulb went off? I've been Googling ever since. And now I'm on 29 podcast platforms, streaming on 4 TV platforms, and then talks for more TV coming up. We will see as I put it in God's hands. Nam yo renke yo, nam yo renke yo, nam yo renke yo. I will trust God with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. Malcolm, you can be anything you want to be. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then Big C, with all that wealth of knowledge over the years, always saying, you got to believe, you got to believe, you got to believe. Say, let's get ready to rumble. I love saying welcome to the show. SB nominated Big C Sports Podcast. I have no scripts. All I have is this gland in the brain called the pineal gland. The ancients call it the third eye.